What is going on, internet? This is JD coming at you with another video from Redskins Rant. Hail to the Redskins. This is my reaction video to the game against the Colts. Well, not really happy about the game, but I think there's a lot of my views on it are a lot different than everyone else's views on it, and I'll explain why in this video. First thing, I watched the condensed version today. I was working Saturday, so I got caught parts of it while I was working. Mainly what it sounds like to me, what it seemed like to me is just like our offensive line didn't show up. That was the main thing to me. Now everyone gonna freaking complain about our defense, and God, it's just Redskin fans are so overreactionary, it's ridiculous. Okay? Overreactionary, and here's why we are overreactionary. Everyone on Facebook that I'm friends with, or any group I was in, was complaining about our defensive line. Our defensive line, like, we held a team to 21 points, and in the NFL, that's actually not horrible, okay? 21 points. They had 7 points in the first drive, okay? They scored 7 points on the first drive. They scored one other touchdown in the first half and one touchdown in the second half. That's it, okay? So it's not like they scored, like, 50 points on us. Everyone's panicking about what our defense did and did not do in that game, okay? So, and over the first two games, I mean, what more could you ask from a defense that was ranked last year in run defense? I mean, I got the stats right here. Let me pull them up real quick. All right, that was our offensive stats. Hold on. Our rushing defensive stats. We are number 10 in the league right now. We went from 32nd to 10. And people want to fucking complain about that. Like, seriously, guys. Like, stop complaining about us going from, like, 32nd to 10. Or, like, our run defense. Our run defense did pretty stout on Sunday. I got the stats in front of me. Let's see how many yards they got. They barely broke 100. Got one running back got 61, one got 34, Luck got 2, and another running back got 7. And they did most of that in the first half. Okay, so they didn't run the ball much the second half. They couldn't run the ball much. Okay? And I'll get into that a little bit later. I can credit a lot of our loss to scheme. So I'm going to go over the offense and defense, what they need to do to get better. Defense, we didn't get much of a pass rush. And I'll go into the scheme part now. It's all about scheme in this part. We just did not scheme to react to what they were doing. The Washington Redskins did not scheme to react to what they were doing. We had one sack, and that was Matt Ioannidis. The other team knows we have a pretty potent pass rush. We have the top ranked number 5 pass rush going into this season. Okay, so what we should have done is we were playing so loose on the edges that they could just throw a 3-yard out and get 5 or 6 yards every single time. They did it on third down. On one drive, they did every third down the same exact play every single time, and we did not adjust our coverage. Not one time did we adjust it. We did not press. We did not bump and run. We didn't do anything. We played that cushion. We gave them that 3, 4, 5-yard cushion every single time, and they were able to throw a quick out or do a rub route or something and get a first down every stinking time. Okay? So what we need to do is our coaches need to have better adjustments. Greg Manowski did not make an adjustment in this game. Made no adjustment in this game. I'll blame that on him. Our defensive line played pretty well for the most part. Our defensive backs played pretty decent for the most part. Hell, we didn't give up that many yards, guys. We only gave up like a net yards 179 gross yards. Or net yards, 177. Passing and 104 rushing. So that's a net of about it's not even 300 yards. Okay, so we were actually number 1 in the league in yards allowed right now. Let me double check that stat. Yeah. Number 1 in the league in total defense yards allowed. We're averaging 247 yards a game that we're giving up. The next closest team is the Baltimore Ravens, and they're giving up 260. So we're the number 1 yards allowed team in the league. Now, could you credit that to our opponent? I'm sure you could if you wanted to do that. But the point is that our defense is doing the job early, and just like we've had last couple of years, is our offense hasn't been doing anything. So I'm going to get in the offense here in a minute. We also, our pass defense was number 9 last year. Right now, our pass defense is actually number, what is it? I'm looking right now. Our pass defense is our points, yards per game, and then I think points per game. I'm looking that up right now. Total points allowed. In total points allowed, we're at not the lowest yet. We're second. We're second in total points allowed. The Rams have only given up 13 total points. We've given up 27, and the next closest one to us is Dallas. So we're averaging 13 points a game. We do 13 points a game the entire season. I'm pretty confident Alex Smith can put up 14 points a game. Okay, so I think everyone needs to take a step back and fucking breathe because everyone's panicking because we lost to the Colts. Okay, we just are defensively. Did we do horrible? No, but we didn't make any adjustments. That's one of the biggest issues. We could have shut them out second half. We just made tiny little bit of adjustment. Okay? And don't get me started on Jordan Reed's fumble. We had a chance with a go-ahead, or at least get a field goal to put it close, or get a go-ahead touchdown, and Jordan Reed freaking fumbles with no reason because he hold the ball out like a freaking bread basket or a piece of bread, a loaf of bread or something. Jesus. In passing defense, we're number one. We're number one in yards allowed in passing. So everyone wants to panic and complain that we lost. Our defense did fine. That was not why we lost. Okay? We also picked off, we haven't had any turnovers from our quarterback yet, which is a big plus. We've had 2 fumbles, one from Adrian Peterson, I believe, and the one was from Jordan Reed. So we're doing good on the turnover battle. We had 2 interceptions this week. We had 1 interception last week. We might have forced a fumble last week too. I don't remember. So we're actually doing pretty good defensively. So everyone needs to just pump the brakes and calm their shit down. Just because we lose a game. We're doing a lot of things right. We just got to do everything right all at once. And that's what happened week 1 was we did a lot of those things right all at once. Okay? So now I'm going to talk about the offense. The offense, 2 things on the offense that really gets me is it doesn't bother me that Alex Smith checks down. The way they were playing their defense, they were playing a cover 2, and everything underneath was open. So I don't understand why we wouldn't just run draws and screens and short passing plays because they're playing underneath all the time. Get it down. I mean, we could have moved the ball every time, and if we got field goals, we got field goals, but we still got moved the ball really quick. We had more yards than they did. We had more overall yards than they did. The problem is we didn't mix up our scheme. Our scheme was so predictable. We should have ran a lot of draws early. They were pinning the ear back and coming after Alex Smith. We should have run some shovel passes or something. Mix it up. Our play calling is so predictable. That's what I blame a lot of this on. Our offensive line was atrocious. Guys need to catch. Paul Richardson and Josh Dobson I'm about done with. He has talent. He's definitely got talent. He's got talent. He's got talent for days. But my God, he cannot catch. We might as well just go to Jamison Crowder, maybe Paul Richardson, or put Chris Thompson out there in the wing and run him like Deshaun Jackson and have him run defenses and throw the ball deep and have him do that. Because at this point, Josh Dotson dropped so many passes. He had like a 25-yard gain. He caught right here in his breadbasket and he drops it out of bounds. Caught right in his breadbasket, just drops it out of bounds. Just because he didn't cradle the ball, I don't understand what it is. D'Angelo Hall actually said this in an interview. He said he has great hands, but he starts hearing footsteps, and he gets scared. That might be his issue. He might be afraid of getting hit after he catches the ball, which makes sense. Last year in the Chiefs game, drops a game-winning touchdown because he wants to put his arm down to brace himself. Just cradle the ball and take the hit. That's all you got to do. And Paul Richardson, he's not exactly being what we wanted. So I think a lot of the issues right now are receivers. It also didn't help that Alex Smith was under duress the entire game. He did not get. He had a couple clean pockets early, and he had some great throws early. But after the first 3 drives, he did not get a clean pocket at all. He did not get an opportunity to actually be a quarterback. That's the problem I'm having right now. He didn't get an opportunity to do this stuff. Now, here's why I think that our coaching needs to get better. 1, we did not adjust our scheme. They were playing 2 over the top, 2 deep, cover 2 deep, Tampa 2, whatever you want to call it, and we could have just been picking them apart, moving the ball downfield very quickly the entire game. We didn't do it. We didn't run draws after the second possession or something like that. We didn't do it. Adrian Peterson and Chris Thompson were taken out of the game, not by the defense, but by our scheme. Our scheme completely changed to we're not going to run the ball anymore. We're going to throw all the time. We didn't keep them balanced, so on and so forth. And our offensive line also did not fucking show up. They didn't show up at all. Trent Williams didn't play well. We had they moved Chase Roulier to guard. He didn't play well. Sean Laval didn't play well. Seriously, our offensive line did not show up. If our offensive line plays like that all season, we're not gonna have any success because the Colts are not elite defense. They're a bunch of no names who made our defense look like bums. They really did. Okay, they really did. So I'm gonna go over every aspect of the offense. The offensive line, F and grade. Your grade was an F because you didn't block. They didn't blitz 9 people or anything. They didn't blitz 7 people. We only had 5 to block. They weren't doing that. They were straight up just pinning your ears back and coming. Okay, running backs. Chris Thompson had 90 yards receiving, so you can't do that too much. But I got to give the running backs like a C minus because they weren't effective. And it might not be your fault, but you still didn't have a good game. That's all I'm going to say on that. I think Adrian Peterson actually had a couple decent gains. Let me see what his stats were. He had one decent game. My bad. He had one decent game. He had 3 catches for 30 yards. So he didn't play horrible. I mean, he was still he was a factor. But one of the biggest issues I have is the fact that Chris Thompson continuously is our best receiver, and he's a freaking 5'8", 5'8" nothing running back. He's like 150 pounds or something. That consistently irritates me. And I don't think it has nothing to do with the quarterback, and I'm about to get the quarterback grade here in a minute. But our receiving core, Crowder, two catches for 8 yards. Really, Crowder? That's what you're good at? That's how good you are? Reed, 6 catches for 55 yards. Vernon Davis, 1 catch for 7. That's effort. I mean, it might have something to do with the fact that maybe they didn't get time to get the throw to them because maybe they're deeper routes and they're deeper passes down the field. I have no idea. From what I saw, Alex Smith early had some opportunities to go deep, but later he just didn't have chances. He didn't have a chance to actually throw the ball deep and give opportunities to the receivers. There's where I blame the scheme. If you're getting to the quarterback beforehand, this is what the Colts did. The Colts did something that is smart. They knew the Redskins were going to pin their ears back and come after Andrew Luck. They knew it, and what they do, they got the ball out in like 2 seconds. Like 1.2 seconds, the ball was out. That's like an average per pass. That's what they had. What did we do? Stand back there, let our quarterback, who is not exactly, he's not like a downfield thrower as much, hold it. Instead of just getting the ball, let him get the ball out quick. You got to counter the scheme of the opponent. We're playing checkers, and then we got beat by someone playing chess this weekend. That's solely scheme. Receivers, at this point, Dotson, 4 catches, 37 yards, dropped some big ones. Richardson dropped some big ones. Those are things that have to get done for us to have a successful season. Alex Smith, everyone's going to be overreact. Listen, this is just football. In football, you have 2 things that go on. Football, defense gets a little bit more chemistry more than the offense does because the offense is about timing, defense is about responsibility. Okay, the offense is about timing, so the timing of the routes, the timing of everything is more important than the actual on the offensive part than personal responsibility. Obviously, personal responsibility is a part, but if you can't get out of your route whenever the quarterback is on a 3-step drop, then you're not going to be able. It's going to take away like half your offense if you can't do that because you got to be able to get the ball out quick. Certain blocking schemes are made to block for only a little bit of time and then get the ball out, things like that. So the receiving core needs to be better. Now maybe we just came across a team that had a good strategy. Hopefully a lot of teams don't adapt that strategy, and hopefully we actually adjusted that strategy. I would not mind dinking and dunking down the field because actually Alex Smith is really good in the red zone. So if we can dink and dunk down the field and get to the red zone, and then, he's good at those short passes. He's good at finding people open, like, down in the red zone. So I would not be opposed to that. But we got to make sure we counter the strategy of our opponents, and I don't think we did that this week. I put a lot of this on Jay Gruden, and I put a lot of this on Greg Minuski. I don't think Alex Smith played bad. A lot of his yards are junk yards. I think he got, like, 200, and then he had, like, about 100 of them were, like, junk yards. 292 is his total yards. But he got a lot of junk yards in that. But in fairness to him, like guys aren't catching balls, guys are dropping wide open passes for first downs, and guys weren't blocking. So there's a lot of things that contributed to his non-success. And the team's 1-1, and we still had a chance to win that game late. If it wasn't for a stupid fumble by Jordan Reed, it pissed me so off so much. God, we had an opportunity. We were driving. We moved the ball pretty good. We had about 5 minutes left. I mean, we were right in scoring range. And fumble. It just really irritates me. So, and we should have got the field goal at the half. I'm not going to get too much in that because that just happens. But we got to make sure, as the Redskins, as a defense, as an offense, got to make sure we protect our quarterback. Got to make sure our offensive line comes to play. They didn't come to play. They came to get bullied around. That's what happened. We need to stop doing that. I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it's the attitude of the players. Every time we have a good week, we come back and we're not prepared to play football. We're not prepared to come after the next team and really build on a victory. We rest on our laurels, or we rest on our Yannies, or whatever you want to call it. That's one thing I think the Redskins did this week. Now, if we do that against Aaron Rodgers, he's going to fucking torch us. He's going to flat out fucking torch us. Okay? Now, we actually have a pretty good track record against Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have a good offensive line. His receivers are not great. Make sure we take away... If we take away, what's his name? Devontae Adams, I think we'll be okay this week. We got to make sure we take him away. And then we really got to get to the quarterback. We got to adjust our strategy. We got to make sure we get to zone up, or we have to, like, play short routes and get to the quarterback or something. We can't sit there and play a 3-yard gap and expect the quarterback not to adjust and get rid of the ball quicker. I mean, I think it's just stupid to expect that. So in our defense, I really don't think our defense played bad. I don't think they played too bad. 21 points is not horrible. 1 touchdown the first drive. They had 1 touchdown midway through second, and then 1 touchdown in the fourth quarter. That's it. Okay. If the offense would have scored 1 touchdown, it'd been a 1-score game, and we'd had a chance to actually win the game. Okay. I'm not going to get too much into that. I think we can win this week. We should have won this week. This pisses me off when you lose to teams you should fucking beat. It really does piss me off. Not going to get too much into that. Right now, we are actually tied for first place in the division. So, Cowboys technically have the edge because they're on a winning streak. They've got 1 win in a row, and we got 1 loss in a row, so they have the edge. But we actually have a higher differential of scoring. We have a +6, and they have like a +1 or something like that. So we should technically be ranked ahead. It's not important. It's 2 games in the season. But the Redskins have to turn around this week and make sure that we scheme to stop what the other team does well and force them to do other things to beat us. We did not stop what the Colts did well. That's short passing game, quick passes, get the ball out quick. We did not do anything to take those away. We didn't. We did not do that. We let them do that. We let them move the ball. They control time. I think they control time of possession. I'm about to check that right now. Give me 1 second. I'm going to figure out what time of possession actually was. So there's a lot of things that we can do. And offensively, I mean, we're ranked in the top 15 in both categories. I think we're number 10 in rushing. Or, like, we're pretty high up in rushing. We're pretty high up in all of our categories right now. So, team... Give me 1 second. Team pass rush. Yeah, we actually had pretty decent pass rush consistently. So, I'm trying to figure out how much time of possession we had. Time of possession. We had the ball more. We had the ball 33 minutes. So we just did some doing things. Move the ball, get sacked, put us behind the sticks, things like that. We got to do those things better. Take the quarterback and things like that. We need to stop overreacting. Seriously, there's so much panic. I understand the panic when it comes to receivers. I get that. That one I'll agree with. Okay, our receivers played atrocious. I say go get Des Bryant. Quit hiring these guys that are nobodies. That guys can't even tie his fucking shoes. Quit signing these guys. Just go get Des Bryant. He'll at least be a big target. At the very least, you can throw it up. He can go get it. At the very least, you can throw it up. He can go get it. Okay? This is JD. Hail to the Redskins. I'll see you next week. Hopefully, it's not a rant next week. Hopefully, it's like, yeah, we won. All right? I didn't do a video on the Arizona Cardinals game. I'm actually about to. I just got promoted, so I'm working on moving to a new area. So videos may be scarce for a little bit. I'm not gonna not do them, but they may be scarce for a little bit. So see ya.